Hello, everyone. My name is Alexander Lluch, and welcome back to Careers Explained. Today, we're going to be interviewing Nicolas Munoz. He completed a BS Industrial Engineering degree from the University of Southern California and then finished a master's degree in Supply Chain Engineering from the Georgia Institute of Technology. He currently lives in Atlanta, Georgia, and works as a supply chain industry consultant for a company called OM Partners. He consults for clients in North and South America, where he implements the company's manufacturing and business software to optimize clients' multi-billion-dollar logistics networks. Nicholas, how are you doing today?
Alexander, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me today.
Yes, thanks for making time to be on the interview. So, let's start off. Based on my experience, I heard that you went to USC, which is a very hard college to get into. And many people don't even want to, even apply because they know of the grueling process that they go through for picking out the elite. So, how was your high school experience as a whole, and how was the whole application process?
Yes, so in high school, I did have a lot of time to enjoy time with my friends, have fun, but I knew initially that I wanted to attend a top school. In my freshman year, I attended a conference where there were a lot of top programs, a lot of top schools there, and I realized that I was inspired and I wanted to attend one of these schools. So what I did is I spent most of my high school focusing on my grades and extracurriculars to have a resume to when I apply to one of those schools that I would be a good candidate for that.
Right. Um, what were the things that you pursued in high school that helped you choose to go to USC?
I would say there's a few things. So first off, I wanted to develop leadership. So what I did was I started a club to support an orphanage in Tijuana, Mexico.
Oh,
So essentially, what that was I got a group of my classmates together, and there was an orphanage which we supported. We built this club where we would do fundraising, go down there once a month and bring clothes and toys for them, and we would just support them on on a
nice.
on a monthly basis.
Yeah.
Also, what I did was I was involved with lacrosse, with which I did for 4 years, and involved with a few other activities or service clubs at school. As well, I tried to keep my grades up to keep virtually straight A's throughout entire high school, which was again creating a whole package which I could use to apply to a top school.
Right. So, once you were in college, how did you decide what you were going to major in?
Right. So initially, I entered USC in the business school.
Right.
So I would say during my freshman year, I took the summer off and enjoyed myself. But then sophomore year, I really focused on getting the internships. And from there, the interview process was initially it was hard, and recruiting is tough because it's like you want to impress them, but they also want to like you. So
Right.
it's a two-way street. You have to like the company and they have to like you.
Right.
So for the interviews, I went out and did quite a few initially, and I think I did six to start off. And after those six interviews, I didn't get any offers.
Okay.
Which was it was difficult and it was
Yeah.
frustrating,
Yeah.
but I really pushed through it. And after every interview, I would really take a step back and figure out, okay, what did I do wrong and how could I get better. So by the seventh one, I had all my I was ready for it, and I had all my notes and everything ready so that I knocked it out of the park and got the internship at
Nice.
Sherwin-Williams, the paint company,
Nice.
and that really got my foot in the door for working in that industry, which was great.
Nice. How did you pick your first job while you were out of school?
Yes, so from the program, again, it helped me out with applying to jobs, but really I wanted to do two things when I graduated. First was consulting, which I instead of doing a manufacturing job like I did with my internships, I wanted to focus on consulting, get that experience, but also focus on something in supply chain, which was what I studied.
Okay.
And just to be clear with what supply chain is, it's essentially the process of organizing from where a product is like created, let's say in China, to where it's shipped to the customer.
Okay.
So Amazon is a master about this. They're the masters of getting the product from their hubs or
Yeah.
the warehouses shipping it across the country, distributing it, and getting it to your house. That's what supply chain is, and Amazon is fantastic at that. So having those two things is what I wanted to focus on. And the company OM Partners has a software which plans the supply chain. So being able to consult for them and also work on industrial engineering and supply chain on a daily basis, that's why I picked them.
Okay, nice. Now, what do you find the most enjoyable thing about working in your profession?
Yes. So with consulting itself, and especially this company, I get to work on supply chain and industrial engineering, which is very similar, because industrial engineering is basically supply chain is a form of industrial engineering, and I get to work with that on a daily basis. But what I really love about it is that I get to travel a lot. Okay. And right now my clients are in Mexico and Colombia, so I get to travel to South America and Latin America to work with clients, which is it's very fun.
Yeah.
And then also, I would say being able to work literally every day is different. So one week I'm working at the office on a project. Next week I'm at training at a different consulting firm. And then another week I'll be flying out to Colombia. So it's really, you never get bored of what you're doing because it's always changing and always keeping you on your toes.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's low season where you're not getting much work and it's kind of you resting. But then there's high season where it's go mode for projects. You have deadlines and you have to work long hours. But again, this builds experience for you because it keeps you on your toes, and you always have to be learning and being efficient with your time. Yeah. So it really makes you professional and just a better overall worker with this field.
Yeah. And finally, do you have any advice or tips for someone who wants to follow in your footsteps, or someone in high school who don't really know what they want to do yet?
I would say for high school, I think just develop yourself to have a good resume and package for when you apply to schools. Okay. But look at schools that offer the ability to switch between majors. Okay. Like, for example, USC easily let me switch between business and industrial engineering, and that's something I appreciated when I applied there. Yeah. So that's definitely having flexibility to switch between programs. Because let's face it, people don't really know. Yeah. I mean, many people don't know exactly what they want until they know. Yeah. So being able to see a lot of different things and switch and try different things is great. Yeah. I would also say get exposed and don't be afraid to be uncomfortable. And like I said, with taking a lower job or that gives you better experience, or just going to a new school out of, like, let's say you live in California, taking a risk and going to Georgia, that really develops you as a person and gets you, helps you grow. Yeah. And lastly, I think this sounds a little cliche, but listen to your parents because they have some great advice for you, and listen to your elders and mentors because they were in your shoes a while back and they really have some good advice to help you grow and develop yourself in the future.
Yeah. Well, Nicolas, thank you so much for taking the time to do this interview with me. I bet all your advice and your tips and your story has inspired many people to maybe follow in your footsteps. And like I said, people in high school who don't really know what they're doing, hopefully this will inspire them, or at least open their eyes to know what you do. And it might make them consider following in your footsteps.
Thank you, Alexander. It's a pleasure.
Thank you again for taking the time. You were great. My name is Alexander Lluch, and this has been Careers Explained. Please make sure to check out my other videos for other careers in the field of various professions. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.